Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and thank you very much for joining me here again. Of course, the URC season has now concluded in a, what can I only describe as a dismal showdown. Probably the worst performance that I've seen thus far in this season by the Bulls, especially after coming from two weeks back against Scotland at Murrayfield, the Glasgow Warriors, making such a huge impact, and they were an electrifying game. Holy crap. They ran circles around the Scots for most of the game. Very electrifying, very energetic, very kind of, always in the Scots' faces. And this time around, it was sort of a complete 180 degree. There was literally no energy. Discipline was sorely lacking. Set plays was subpar, if I have to kind of give that an evaluation. Especially the lineouts was really terrible. There was no energy, no drive from the boys, and yeah, the constant just giving away of ball possession to the opponents just didn't help them at all. If you suddenly realize that your old tactic of front row brutality is not working, then you've got to switch it up. You've got to change tactics. Embarrass Papir constantly going for the hoist, obviously looking for some kind of way through to get a line break going, looking out for the kind of empty spaces behind the Leinster lines. Leinster closing those gaps very quickly, so very well done to them. They were also very much in the Bulls' faces all the time, not really giving them any room to breathe or maneuver. And I think probably the best strategy that it could have gone for is just to kind of step back a bit, let the ball go to the back line, even if you have to like seesaw the ball up and down the field from left to right. Just do something, wait for some kind of a gap in the defensive line to open up so you can make that line break. That probably would have been a much better tactic to go for. And then obviously as soon as the opportunity to go for it, maybe go for a kick pass or something. But honestly, the way it's been going, it was just constantly trying to rehash the sort of same old tactic, expecting different results. Almost like, the age-old saying, knocking its head against the same brick wall, expecting a different result. It's not going to happen. So it was really a bad performance there. Canan Moodie scoring at its only try for the Bulls in the second half, or sort of middle of the second half, with Andre Pollard converting. That was literally the only points on the board for the Bulls. Leinster was just gunning for it. Try fest. First try, obviously by Thomas O'Brien, and wow. From there on, they just moved right up to about the 7 minutes before the end of the game. Scored by Henry Byrne. It was just running circles. They had all the questions to ask, and the Bulls had no answers whatsoever. There was two issues though that I took with the coach PRD, well, not coach, referee PRD, which I think he seriously got wrong there. Two tries that was disallowed by the Bulls. Now, let me be clear. I don't think these two tries were not going to make any kind of blind bit of difference. You're looking at a final score of 36-7. So even if you did allow those two tries, that would have been 36-21. Sure, shorter margin of a loss, but still a loss. This is the finals. It's points are not going to make any blind bit of difference here. But still, for the Ruan Nortje try to claim the forward pass from Canan Moodie, I don't know how they got to that result, because PRD asked for the TMO, and out of the 4 angles that they looked at, they literally only chose the last angle that showed the pass from sort of a diagonal view from behind, which probably could have just be perception to make it look like it's going forward. Now you have 3 other angles where the ball didn't look like it was going forward, and yet they stuck with the 4th one. It's like, I'm not quite happy with that kind of evidence. Show me another one. Show me. Oh yes, no, the ball looks like it's going forward up there, so we're going with this one. Come on, how do you call it? How do you call like that? And then of course the first try that was disallowed. I can't remember exactly who scored the try, but if you zoom in on the actual footage, the TMO footage you can just make out on the right hand side bottom corner of the ruck, the ball is sort of just peeking out there clearly on the line. And then of course PRD rules it no clear evidence for a grounding, therefore no try. I do not agree with that call, unfortunately, and I do have great respect for Andrea PRD. He's a ace referee. He calls games right down the middle. He doesn't just accept words from anybody. He immediately goes to a TMO if you get somebody calls oh right, I feel I've scored this try, which is what happened in this game. I feel like I scored the try. Okay, let's go to the TMO. Okay. If one, somebody or touch judge or anybody comes to him, it's like, okay, this guy knocked the ball forward, or there's a suspected forward pass out of hand, then he immediately goes to the TMO. He doesn't just take somebody's word for it. He tries to find some verifiable evidence for it. But yeah, it's unfortunately that he made those erroneous calls, right? I believe that those calls were erroneous. I don't know. What do you think? Leave me your comments in the comments field below. Then of course, yeah, Leinster, like I said, always just being in the Bulls' face is really what kind of clinched the deal. They gave no breathing room, no maneuvering room for the Bulls. So definitely something that they can look at in future games. They will have to try and focus on the next year now, because honestly, it's done and dusted. Most of these players, Ronor here, unfortunately playing his last game for the Bulls. I heard a rumor that he is going to Japan next, so wish him all the best of luck. Unfortunately for him to end this URC season and his Bulls career on this kind of note, I would really love to have seen him walking out with the URC trophy there, but unfortunately didn't happen. And then, yeah, like I said, the constant Leinster guys being in their faces the whole time. So you've got to create space. By simply keeping the ball moving is one quite tried and tested tactic. Going into from phase to phase, or trying to switch it up a bit, going for a forward attack, then switching up to a backline attack, maybe take it through to a forward attack again. And if you honestly see, Imbros Papir must take note that if he honestly sees that his own team cannot handle the high balls, that he's just kicking possession away, then with a 73% and 75% ball possession, 73% field advantage to the Leinster, then you really have to try and change your tactic. Keep ball in hand, especially if you can retain ball in hand. You're keeping the ball out of your opponent's possession, and especially Leinster being so dangerous with ball in hand. That is absolutely essential to start kicking ball possession away like that. To a team that can handle ball possession and attack so strongly, you really need to change your tactics. Even if it takes you 10 minutes to 10 to 12 to almost 20 minutes to score a try, you're at least preventing the opponent from doing so. But that was the biggest problem, I feel. Discipline, yellow card to Kanan Moody and Billy LaRue, both for deliberate knockdowns. And I have to, though, praise the fairness of Andrea PRD over here, because he also did acknowledge the deliberate knockdown by James Lowe, giving him a yellow card there. So all in all, average performance for the referee, but really below average performance for the Bulls. Congratulations to Leinster, I believe is on order. I mean, you guys played a hell of a game. Really great performance there, and you guys can be truly proud. Your fans can be honestly truly proud of you guys. Well done, well played, and we'll see you next year for the same. Hopefully the South African teams can learn from this experience and take it a bit further. Both the Stormers and the Bulls can literally learn some valuable lessons off their mistakes within this season. But we go from strength to strength, and hope we're going to go and not repeat this kind of beatdown ever again. But anyway, guys, that's it. Just a short one this week. I'm going to try and get another one in sort of towards the weekend, maybe start of next week, talking about the Springboks game against the Barbarians, which is basically just a friendly game. The Barbarians don't come to seriously play. They don't even get really a chance to practice together. They just go out for the socialization between two teams, or different players from the best teams in the world. there's only, I believe, 2 types of criteria that you need to be part of the Barbarians. Is obviously you need a track record, and then of course your conduct on and off the field must be exemplary. It's more of a social thing to try and cultivate a unity, worldwide unity among rugby fans and players, which I think is a great idea. And they've run with this kind of tradition now for so many years, and it just works. And it's such an honor for any player to get these call-out papers into the Barbarians and represent his country or his club over there. And I'm sure both Damien Willems and Ollie Kebbel's parents must have been over the moon for when they received their invitation letters. And then of course the South African A team that went up against Zimbabwe played a hell of a game, although losing to the Springbok A team. The Zimbabwe players played very well. They stuck to good principles of rugby, tried their best tactics. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be, but we had some seriously great talent in the South African A team, and just goes to show that we really have the young talent that we honestly need to secure the future of rugby in South Africa. And I'm just so happy to see that. But leave me your comments in the comments below. I'm always happy to hear from you guys, any kind of opinions you might have, even if you would disagree with me. But take care of yourself, guys. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so. And from a very cold Cape Town, we're right deep in the heart of winter now. I hope you guys take care of yourselves and your loved ones. I'll be seeing you guys in that next video. Peace out.
So well and trail 21-3. Here's Tommy O'Brien, and Leinster have found a way through, and it's bounced up beautifully for the Leinster winger, and the crowd are on their feet, and from nothing Leinster hit the front.